Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the FV304. It's the Tier 6 British SPG, and this one's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka under the command of Anders 6. Now, it's got a 4.5-inch howitzer, which translates to 114.3 millimeters, and it's got a very fast top speed, 72 kilometers an hour, and the gun can do 450 alpha. So if you get a penetrating hit, it can do an awful lot of damage to the enemy. Okay, well, he's taking it over onto the east side of the map. You can see that nippy speed. This Arty wasn't actually put into production. It had a rather long gestation period. They started work on it in 1947, but it got kind of delayed, and by the time they actually got around to talking about building the prototype, almost leapt over that hill. By the time they got around to talking about the prototype, it was already obsolete, so it never got put into production. But he's looking for a target, and from this position, you can actually shoot at enemy tanks side on as they come up to the center line. But there's an Oni there, and unfortunately he's just out of range. You need to be a little bit closer in order to get shots onto him. But from this position, there are some enemies' positions that you can fire at. Most notably up on top of the hill. If that Oni comes up to the center line, we'll really hammer him. Well, some enemy tanks have turned up on the hill. A T-44, a Comet, an IKV-90B, and a Samur. Going for the T-44 first. Say reload time is just under 13 seconds if you're on a standard FV304, but if you've actually got a good one with rammer and everything, you can get it down to about 10 seconds. Fires around at the Samur. Oh, he got a hit! No explosion on that one, so he definitely hit that Samur. Fires another one in. Yes, he has got a reload time, just over 10 seconds actually. Going for the T-44 again. Round out. Direct hit. 161. Doesn't look like it penetrated, but it did do two critical hits. And I think it tracked him, so he's probably still there. And Anders hasn't fired. He's waiting for another sighting. You see, having a Bert on your team like this, and this tank is named after Bert the Avenger, somebody who actually used it quite effectively as a troll machine, almost like a TD. Having a Bert on your team means you can track the enemy in place, almost as if they've been hit by a Leppy, a Fifi. And he's going for that Oni, but switches back because the Samur has moved forward. And we can see the amount of damage we did with the last shot. It was about 100 hit points, slightly over 100 hit points. And another hit, 196 this time. Now you can see why he didn't move up closer, because he would have been spotted by that Samur. But from here, he can get good shots on them. Goes to the T-29, and he gets a kill shot, and he ammo racks it. Oh, he blew the turret clean off. The turret's landed some distance in front of the tank. Fires at the Samur again and gets another hit. He's down. He's low on hit points. That Samur is going to go. Only needs a couple more shots. We need that RT-29 to tell us where that Samur went. There he is. Okay, line up. Oh, we got a reticule bloom just at the moment he was about to fire, and unfortunately the Samur's been killed now, so... Well, fortunately the Samur's been killed now, so he doesn't have to kill it himself. Going for the Tiger 131. Round out. Direct hit. Now, is the Tiger still there? Round out. No, he's moved. Now, it might be a good idea for Anders to move up now, because the enemy are further away. And if he gets into the right position, he can really hit the enemy hard. And from here, in this little dip, yes, he can hit the Oni at last. He's moved up far enough for us to hit him. And he's marked him as the target to let his team know. Rounds out. direct hit. 150. Now he can really go to town, that Oni. He's firing another one in blind. And that one just explodes on the ground. There he is. Oh, he moved over slightly. Okay, line him up. Work out where he's going to go. And fire the round in there. Just lands behind him. If you adjust the aim just slightly, you can get reticule bloom. He is actually at the far edge of his field of fire. Round out again on the Oni. Direct hit. He'll only stand another 2 shells at most. In fact, he might get a kill shot if he gets a high roll. Round out on the Oni. Oh, it wasn't a high roll, but it was enough to make him a one-shot now. Going for the Poodle instead. Oh, he's been spotted. Okay, needs to move. Somebody saw him. He got a hit into the Poodle. But he's going to have to change position. If you stay where you are in a Burt, once they've spotted you, you'll easily be targeted by the enemy Arty. So, yeah, you've got to move. Any Arty who gets spotted should immediately take evasive action. And it looks like he's going back to these bushes. It may have been the Cromwell who actually spotted him. You can see the Cromwell rushing away from that position. The Poodle's probably still up there at the centre line. And the Oni hasn't been killed yet. He's still around. But he is a one-shot. Now, unfortunately, our tanks going over the hill have all died. The T-29 is staying low. He's still in the village ahead of us, but our team seems to be going down the west side of the map. Unfortunately, they're out of range of us at the moment, so might be a good idea for Anders 6 to get behind the cover of that building. Yep, that's better. And the reason for that is if somebody came over the hill, and there is an enemy tank up there, a tank destroyer, I think that may be the IKB. If he came over that hill, he'd see Anders 6 straight away and shoot him. So by moving behind the building, he's actually given himself a measure of protection for a short while. I mean, it's more than likely the IKV would see the outgoing shells and charge down the hill to try and get him, but still no sign of the Oni. Oh, there he is. Okay, now we can get a kill shot. Dialed in, round out, and kill shot. 27 hit points. But that's his second kill. Quick reload. And now what's he going to do? Well, he could go up over the hill himself. The view range on the Burt isn't that great, so going up over the hill is a bit of a risk. But it might pay off because from on top of the hill, you can actually get shots on the enemy tanks near their cap. Oh, there's the IKV. He spotted him, so he's pulling back, using the wreck for cover, dialing in on that position. The IKV didn't see him, or may have not had sixth sense. Oh, he's been killed already, the IKV. So even though he fired a round, it wasn't necessary. And there's the Poodle. So we can fire from here. That Poodle was desperately trying to get back behind that Oni. And there he is. He's moved the other side next to the railway track. It's a very difficult shot because the railway train does get in the way when they're close to the railway line. It's waiting for sign of that Poodle. Oh, it's got him back again. And the Poodle's moved over the railway line. He's now actually on this side of the battlefield. There's a comet still that we haven't seen. And I'm wondering if Anders 6 is actually moving to a position so he can get the comet. Well, the comet's not in sight. He's actually in the north. And the Poodle's been killed. So, oh, when we found the enemy Arty, he's out in the middle of the field. And is going into the aim straight away. The M44 doesn't seem to be paying attention. And one shot and he's out the game. Lightly armoured, so he probably got a penetrating shot there. And now he's taken up position where the enemy Arty would normally be. We've still got that Comet on the enemy team, and there's also another tank out there, the Borsig, and that's a tier 8 tank destroyer. Oh, he's in sight now. He's over on the west side of the map, so he's just out of range. So we're going to have to close the distance in order to get shots on him. And we have platooned with the Progetto. So there's potential brothers in arms on the cards. And in fact, actually, they've joined platoon with the Scorpion as well. That means that the Scorpion had to get the kill. Unfortunately, they didn't, and that meant that they missed out on the brothers in arms and also on a crucial contribution. So let's have a look at the end of battle map. It's an ace tanker for Anders 6 in the FV304. In fact, it's the first ace tanker he's ever had because it's got those scrolls underneath. He got a demolition expert for blowing that T29 to pieces, and he also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 8 in total out of that game. And the win 8 for the game, 4,106. If we look at team scores, we can see he didn't get the highest amount of damage. That went to the Progetto, who managed to get 4,753. And just behind him was the Borsig with 4,750. 3 hit points in it to separate the high caliber from the Borsig. And the next high score after that was the Scorpion G with 2,912. And Anders 6 comes in with 1,421. If we look at number of kills, though, we can see that Progetto managed to get the highest amount. He got 6. Then came Anders 6 with 3. And after that, we've got some tanks with 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, it was the Progetto again. Managed to get 1,223 out of that one. And then came Anders 6 with 839. And that was enough for an ace tanker. And 703 for the Scorpion G. He fired 22 rounds in that game, got 12 direct hits and 1 penetration. So I think, yes, it was that M44 that he penetrated. Splash damage on 12, damage of 1,421 hit points, of which 820 were at more than 300 meters. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and did damage assistance of 745 hit points. On a premium count, he earned 34,620 credits, and after ammunition resupply and the ammo is really cheap, he actually ended up with 29,120 credits. He received 1,258 XP, and there was no multipliers, so I'm afraid that's all he took away. But the reason he scored so well and managed to get the ace tanker in this game was primarily because he was a tier 6 Arty in a tier 8 game, and so he was hitting higher tier opponents and earning much more XP as a result. And that's a good trick or tip for anyone who actually wants to get an ace tanker in their Arty. It helps to be the lowest tier, because if you're a low tier, then you can get lots of juicy XP for every enemy tank that you hit who's higher than you. So that's very worthwhile, especially if you're in a FV3, because the FV304 isn't played as much as the FV is. The 105 Le FH18B2, that's played a lot more because it is much more trolled even than the FV304 in a way, faster fire rate. But yes, if you want to get an ace tanker in the FV, you really have to get a very high XP score. If you want to get an ace tanker in the FV304, it's not so great, but it is still difficult because it's a difficult Arty to learn how to handle well. So congratulations to Anders 6. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.